Several local races are getting a lot of attention this election day.
Political editor John Delano and KDKA anchor Stacey Smith are here with us tonight to take a look at some of the most watched races, guys.
All right, Ken, thanks. You know, this is the midterm elections, and midterm elections can sometimes bring surprises, and they can also be very critical as to who controls what as far as the national picture goes. I say they bring surprises because in 2006, there was a candidate by the name of Bob Casey, a Democrat, who upset then the incumbent Republican Rick Santorum for the United States Senate. We're at midterm elections once again, John, and now Mr. Casey is the incumbent being challenged by Mr. Barletta, and a lot is on the line.
An absolutely ton is on the line, because if the Democrats have any hope at all of taking control of the U.S. Senate, Bob Casey must win re-election in Pennsylvania. There are 10 Democratic senators running in states that Donald Trump carried, and one of them is right here in Pennsylvania. And there's no doubt that Lou Barletta is President Trump's candidate. After all, the president asked him to run about 18 months ago. Barletta gave up his seat in the House in order to run for the Senate. The president's been out twice in Pennsylvania campaigning for him. Very much a referendum on President Trump in this Senate election.
This is a referendum, a lot of people say, on President Trump in the Senate race. But what about the other big statewide race, which would be the governor's race?
Well, that's very interesting, because you wouldn't think the governor's race would have anything to do with President Trump. But in fact, Scott Wagner, the Republican, has embraced the president, and we've seen in his closing ads in which the president says that this guy, Scott Wagner, is smart, he's great, he ought to be governor of Pennsylvania. So in many ways, the governor's race is also turning into a referendum on the president.
Well, we also know that Governor Wolf ran kind of in an attack campaign against Scott Wagner and a lot of these ads.
Well, there's no doubt about that unfortunately a lot of these ads from every candidate, including Wagner's attack on Wolf, have been negative. But you know, the reason they do those negative commercials is they work. And the people, unfortunately, one way or the other, they tend to think that these ads are absolutely true. And I'm always here to tell you, you have a First Amendment right, these candidates have a First Amendment right to lie in their campaign commercials.
We're not accusing any of them of lying at this point.
But they can do it.
That's the case, if it could be the case. Now, we said the Senate race and the governor's race could be keyed to President Trump. What about the state House and Senate races? Will that be a carryover at all?
You know, the impact on those races will be turnout, because if a lot of folks are coming out, whether they're Trump supporters or the opposite, they're coming out, they're very likely to vote for members of the same party. So if they're coming out to send a message to Donald Trump, these are Democrats who are likely to vote for the Democratic candidates running for state Senate and state House. So we're going to see a ripple effect based on turnout.
All right, John, thank you. Ken, John, I'll be back at 6 o'clock with a little bit more analysis about the congressional races that are coming up.